So we're back in Africa with Theron Safaris. We've got Theron here, and you've got a pretty special place here for bow hunters, don't you?
I mean, we've got just over 60,000 acres, and we've got the big 5 here: elephants, lions, buffalo, all of that, plus some cheetahs.
This is an amazing place. Like, this isn't your typical high fenced operation in South Africa. All the game here is self-sustaining. There's no animals brought in or anything like that. And you know, even though we're in a high fence, it's wild Africa. I mean, we've got prides of lions hunting in here. We've got elephants, rhinos. Yeah.
I mean, for the bow hunter, it almost feels like an open area.
Absolutely.
Because there's certain areas that we hunt and certain areas that you don't. So some days when the lions come in, you know, it gets frustrating because you can't see anything. But the next day it's all back and having fun.
Yeah, it's one of those places you have to come experience, that's for sure. It's, you know, you can hear all you want about it, but until you're actually here, you know, you could be anywhere in wild Africa right now. And, you know, we had a great wildebeest come in this morning, and he just kind of stood there forever and finally offered me up a shot. And it looked like I'd hit him a little too far forward and we didn't get much penetration, but when we went out and actually found the arrow, you know, I'd had a good foot or 14 inches of penetration, and it was a little nerve-wracking for a bit. We didn't find a drop of blood for about the first 80 yards, but when we hit 80 yards, it was just like somebody was pouring buckets of blood out of him, and we found him, you know, just 100 yards from a blind. I'd actually hit him perfectly in the heart, but it was a little nerve-wracking in the beginning because it sure didn't look like I did. I thought I hit him too far ahead, and then, you know, with no blood, it's really, really spooky, but just a great wildebeest. So, great news is I've got an incredible wildebeest hanging back at the skinning shed. The bad news is I get to give up my position in this chair and take the camera from Vanessa, and Vanessa's on the bow now.
So TJ got it done this morning. Got a beautiful blue wildebeest. So now camera goes to him, bow goes to me. We'll see what comes in this afternoon.
Are you more confident now that Vanessa's shooting than me?
Well, I know the way she shoots, no problem.
Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Zeiss, we make it visible. Defense Aerosols, bear spray for when your life depends on it. Sacco Rifles, demand perfection. Closed captioning brought to you by PSE Archery, the precision compound bow experience. Introducing the Carbon Air Stealth 35, along with the new Evolve cam system powered Evoque 35 and Evoque 31, PSC's newest precision compound bows.
Well, Jerry, that made for a long afternoon. We got into the blind, it was probably about 11 o'clock, just before that, and what was about noon, and the wind switched on us. Before that, we saw all sorts of action. We had warthog.
We had some
impala.
impalas, but not big enough yet.
No, and we did hear, and you saw a huge group here. I couldn't actually see them where I was standing. And big fight between the males, which was really cool. So is it the rut for them right now?
It's starting for the impalas. That's why you'll hear all the snorting around.
Yeah.
You know, and they kind of fight for their females at the moment, and that's why they're running up and down and doing what they're doing. So
yeah. So you said 3 o'clock. The wind should settle down a bit. Took a little longer than that, but the impala started to come in slowly. There was a young impala in. And then TJ saw an older male coming in, and so you said, hurry up and get on your bow, and then all of a sudden you said, no, there's one further back, he's a nicer one.
exactly. I mean, when you sit the whole day, you want to get some into
You get
action,
antsy.
So the one that we initially looked at was all right for us to take, and when this one came in, I mean, it just switched totally. We switched to him, and we decided to take that. And I mean, you made a great shot on it.
I can't believe how much he ducked down from the sound of my bow.
Amazing.
I was lucky to hit him where I did.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the cool thing about those blinds is there's a lot of room in them.
Yes.
And so I'd actually sort of set up just in case we had exactly the scenario happen that happened. So I was going to shoot from the left side of the blind as he was coming up to that salt block.
Yeah.
And he never gave me an opportunity.
No.
He was like dead on, heading, like looking straight at us. And then he moved off to the side. He had no interest in even licking the salt block. He was just trying to keep an eye on those other two males.
Yeah, and I mean, coming back to the rat, that's what it is all about for them. They have to fight to spread their genes.
Right.
So eventually he stopped. I mean, we were at, I think, 26 yards or 27 yards.
Yeah.
And take us through that a little bit, because you have to move all the way to your right.
Yeah, so I mean, I basically just came around, and luckily, like I say, I set everything up beforehand for every scenario that was going to happen. So I was just able to sort of very slowly sneak around and get into position. You read off the yardage, and this is the end of the story. So
Amazing.
it was pretty cool. Just a fabulous hunt here. This is an amazing property too.
It's very unique, bow hunting only.
Right.
You know, I can't say more, you know, it's been speaking for itself for some time.
Yeah, I mean, you've been telling us about this place, and it was just really hard to believe until you got here. So, Theron African Safaris, Jerry, is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much.
No.
Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Stony Creek Hunting Gear. It's in the blood. Loa Boots, simply more. Silver Willow Taxidermy, see the difference. Safari Club International Canada, first for hunters.
One mistake many bow hunters make is not practicing under field conditions. They spend hours at the range, but they never fire their bow out of a blind or a tree stand. Now I've got my PSE Carbon Air Stealth SE all sighted in, and now it's time to try it out in the field. Anytime you get a new bow, rest, or sight, you've got to take it out into the field conditions that you're going to be hunting in. We learned a valuable lesson last year in South Africa when the contrast between the brightness outside and the darkness inside the blind made it nearly impossible for us to see our pins and the animal at the same time. I won't make that mistake again. Well, a little more practice in the blind with my new Carbon Air, and then it's off to the tree stand. So we got some blue wildebeest in water just a ways from here. What they'll do after the water's come in for salt. So that's what we're hoping for. We also know there's a bit of a puddle back here that warthogs like to wallow in, so they could come from this direction. So we know when we were driving in, there was zebras back behind here. So who knows what could come in? You just never know in Africa what's going to happen. That ball just would not turn for me. The only shots I could even consider it was a hard quartering away or quartering to. There was just so much going on. There were so many cows and stuff moving around. It's a hard one, but you gotta be smart. leading. We're all sitting here, TJ's filming me, and all of a sudden, we figured it's another bull coming in, but it was him. He walked straight in, like some salt, and left. Never even gave me a chance. That bull is one huge bull and really smart.
Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Alberta Outdoorsman Magazine, Alberta's only hunting, fishing, and trapping magazine. Deluxe wall tents, built in Canada for Canadian conditions. Midland Radios, communication for every adventure. Tika Firearms, second to none.
Well, another morning in the blind. So, TJ's got impala and warthog on his list. I've got wildebeest and warthog on my list. So, basically anything that comes in this morning should be good, right, Jerry?
Well, I hope so. I'm just wondering what I've got on my list.
Everything?
Everything. No, I mean, it's a good morning. It's a little bit colder. So I think the warthog will come in a little bit later.
Right.
But I mean, we've heard now the wildebeest, we've heard the impalas around us, so it's going to be an interesting morning.
Yeah. We got pizza. We're ready to sit here for the whole day.
Yep, we are.
I thought it felt really good, but I think I just got a little jacked up, and he was quartering away quite a bit, but I thought it was still a good angle. So I aimed for his far leg, but just a little bit further back, and I actually ended up way further back than I wanted to. So, I mean, you guys saw that arrow didn't get a whole lot of penetration, so. And now the hunt goes on. Look at the blood.
I mean, we've only been tracking about 150 to 200 yards.
Right.
It was far though, but that arrow stayed in.
Right.
So it was just cutting him up. This is the first blood that we're getting.
Yeah.
And look how he's bleeding from here on.
Wow.
Awesome job. Awesome job.
I had my doubts. Well, I mean, I gotta say, I screwed up a little bit there. My shot was rather far back, but I got a lot of penetration, which was very lucky.
I mean, with the blood that we found, you could definitely see, he was cutting the liver, and that's why he also didn't go that far. Normally, if it's just a stomach shot, it's going to be really difficult, especially on the wildebeest. So, we're just lucky he tumbled over and got enough blood inside and got cut up.
Yeah.
So I'm really pleased with that.
But this has been an amazing trip. It really has. Theron African Safaris and Jerry Theron. It's been a ton of fun. We've had a lot of fun every evening, and all through the day hunting. I mean, we've taken some pretty funny pictures and posted some pretty funny pictures. So lots of fun, and but still great hard hunting as well. So
Yeah, I mean, I really think that the hardcore hunter would really enjoy this.
Yes.
It's wide open spaces.
it's not easy.
You've got to work for your animals, and you know, at the end of the day, if you put the effort in, you're going to get them.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I think people are a little bit tired of the smaller areas.
Yes.
So this is probably one of the best areas that I know of.
Yeah, it is spectacular, that's for sure. It's only 9:50 in the morning, so we've got the rest of the day left for us, and probably the camera will get switched, so we'll
Yeah.
see what's going on.
I hope some good luck there.
For more information on the exclusive bow hunting opportunities offered by Theron African Safaris, check out their website at theronafricansafaris.co.za. They've been conducting safaris in South Africa and numerous other African countries since 1999.
These companies have provided products and services that are critical to hunts conducted on Outdoor Quest TV. You can check us out online at outdoorquesttv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.